What's up, everybody? This is AKG123 Videos. I'm coming at you with some retroactive commentary of Pokemon Auto Chess in a game here with my good buddy Geo. We're both new players, hungry to climb, hungry to learn, get some ELO. So I'm bringing you guys a little bit of the ELO grinding quest right here. So off rip, I go into a artificial portal, seeing that I have air on there, could do something with that. Steel artificial kind of team. Really, I don't really know what I'm doing right off the bat, but getting some good starters. A light team could be something that I'm thinking about here. Just looking at my region, looking at my regional Pokemon, I see that Varoom there, so maybe something made me not go for that. I probably should have taken the Cling or the Clang right there, but going Mareep. I could take out the first round pretty easily. I'm looking at the regionals again, maybe realizing a bit of a mistake there. Just pick up everybody on the board to see what we get in the next round. So, see, there's the Wormadam, the Varoom. I get another Clang here. So, yeah, good to check the regionals, maybe 8-10 times, like I'm doing there, if you're a little slow, like I am. So, just getting through the early rounds right here. No, I don't want to leave the game. Getting rid of that, don't need it. Always could play an early bug team. Cocoon is pretty strong. Kind of realizing that he should have been in my lineup. Still not sure where I'm going here, but trying to pick the right item. Gonna get Never Melt Ice. You can do a lot with that. I like Shell Bell, Wide Lens. All pretty good options. We move past. I check out my friend Geo. Geo's very new to the game, but he's played a similar game before. Teamfight Tactics. I never played it, but he's really good. He might be better than me already, but he's got a fairy team going there. So stage 4 item carousel. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the hard scale. Get some good defense on this team. Checking out what everybody else is doing. Back to Geo, so he has that Pikachu, he has that Herdier. There's that in there, that's a good move. He has a strong early team. I'm still not sure what I'm doing. Thinking about Baby. But checking where my light is. We could throw Aeron on there, but right now don't really have a great team. I wouldn't be expecting to win much. So, kind of a crapshoot if I'm going to get anything there. Starting to think about kind of item combinations I want. Muscle Band is really good, but I don't really have anybody. Luckily, I'm up against this guy who's probably AFK. So we can start out with an easy win. Geo, despite having a item disadvantage, he takes out that team. If you're worried about any collusion, just I want you guys to know we're both just hungry competitors, so there's no need to worry about any of that. Yeah, tough choice here. Nothing really is going to look great on my team, so thinking about the item, I don't have the Miracle Seed at the moment, so that could give me a revive or something else good, something defense for my Aaron if I ever evolve it. So if you're going to do Assault Vest, you probably want to check what other people are playing, if they're doing special attackers or not. Sticky Barb, I've never really found a great use for it. Kind of just build it at the end if there's nothing left. Maybe that powder for my Aaron if I ever evolve him again, but here my buddy Gia's gonna stomp me with his Pikachu. Strong team, really strong early team. So yeah, looks like that last person is dropped off, so now we're just a 7-person lobby. That's fine. It makes the games a little shorter. I'm just grabbing all the steel types that I can. I realize I don't need these bugs anymore. We're gonna try and think about leveling up. Am I gonna do it? I'm gonna do it. I did it. Yep, so it's good. I kind of just want to stop losing at this point. So I'm thinking about throwing some items together, but I don't really have anybody that really needs one except for Aaron in the light with some extra shield to go with his ability that can always help. This Firo team is pretty scary. Firo is actually not a bad early game unit. I never really use it myself, but I've seen some other people have good success. But actually, I think the numbers advantage helps me here this round. But not enough. Yeah, the healing from the Zubat probably made a big difference there. And my team doesn't have much of an identity, no evolutions, I'm not getting a lot, and I don't really feel like rolling, so kind of just hoping for the best. I throw an item. I probably should have done that earlier if I was going to do it in the first place, but the items I made, you know, good items I could sell, put on anybody else. Yeah, I like that. Immediate boost to attack speed. That's definitely good on the backline shooter like Clang. So going up against the Steel Monster team, they could be scary. You know, that layer on there is probably why I don't have one, unfortunately. And even with the extra items, it isn't quite enough. So not a bad choice here. I can think about going light again. Mystic Water is always great. But still not much identity for my team at the moment. I don't know what I want to do. Whether I want to take off a steal and go to light 3. That is what I end up doing. But again, the light position is not doing me any favors. I have a really weird board here. I don't feel confident about winning any matches at this point. I'm still looking for what I'm going to pivot into to make this match work. Thinking about ice with those two steals, but ultimately it's probably not worth it. I'm going against a baby team, so hopefully we could start a win streak with this. This player actually, I think, ends up doing some damage after they get some hatches, but we'll see that down the road. So now I have the triple Spheal, the Spheal Team 3. And I decide to play around with playing ice for a little bit, because, you know, like I said before, no identity on this team at the moment. And I'm just trying to think of a good Gyarados lineup. I just want to win this fight and move on. I don't really care if those guys with items are on the bench. I don't want to sell them because I might still use them, but I don't really need them. Looks like I'm really having just a full identity crisis here. Good to be safe than sorry. Maybe I would have lost if I didn't have those items. Checking out my boy Geo, he's cooking. Yeah, like, you know, don't need to worry about him. It's only his like third game ever. He's top of the lobby, no damage. Finally getting an evolution. That's really useful. Trying to look at where I'm gonna go. So there's only one steal, so I'm trying to run to that, bump into my friend, get to the steal, and now I can get rid of these guys. And tough choice here. Great steal units all around. The steal uniques are pretty good in general, but Togedemaru, they kind of stomp. They do a lot of good special damage. Pretty tanky. So I go with them. I have the Mareep. I know Electric Light has a lot of good synergizing, so I'm thinking about maybe doing something like that at that point in time. Get to steal 4. start messing around with ice, get rid of the light for now, because it's not really doing much for me. Think about what items I need on my Togedemaru. I want to wait and use that Mystic Water on a little bit of a better item for him, so something that'll allow him to cast. We get the Pokédoll on to help him get tanky. A little worried about that Hitmonlee. Yeah, I just played a pretty fun Hitmon top game. But I never know whether I should go Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, or Hitmonlee. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So, looking at what items we got here. Could go Charcoal, get a little extra damage for my team. Trying to think of what would go well on Togedemaru. What do I need? What am I seeing? Whether I want some extra special defense. That is what I end up doing. So I just have a real tanky little guy there. Still have my Mystic Water. And I can get some more Artificial going. Throw Varumon, he's just a really strong unit. Not loving my positioning here. Maybe I should shift more to the left, but that's fine for now. Still not sure how I'm going to work these light units in, or if I'm going to do that. I could have bought here. I could have bought XP 3 times and had an extra unit for this fight, so I kind of sold, but that's okay. We do actually kill the Trampa there, but the Charmeleon is enough to knock us out. I realize a little late, but I do grab the Rickety before it's too late. Finally get an evolution into Lairon. Now I'm looking at that Gumi, and I check my regionals, and notice I do have Hisuian Sliggoo, so I could throw that in as a steel unit if I want that. Not really doing any Dragon Amorphous anything right now, so don't know exactly how that will fit in, but could come in handy. We get the Silver Dojo ticket. I'm really bad at using these. I never know who to put it on. I think my good pal Gio would put it on his unique, so that's kind of just eating the loss for 4 stages, and then having a super powered unit after that. I don't know if that's worth it. Personally, I have never done that, so I'm wondering who to throw it on. I will not spoil it, but I do eventually decide. And we get Soldu, and we throw it on Togedemaru, so now they can just stay alive a really long time, get super boosted special attack, and roll over everybody. So that's the plan. I kind of forget to throw in a unit, so the little candle guy, Litwick, he gets in. But the team is looking a lot stronger now. You know, we have an improved front line with Lairon. Togedemaru is kind of unkillable, and we have some good pew-pew in the back line with the Clang. This one is just Clang, I guess. Or Clang. Maybe the first one is Clink, then Clang. Anyway, throw that on the Rickety, because actually that's a pretty good unit. Maybe not the greatest to use on a rare unit. Maybe save up for an epic or an ultra if you can. But I was at the bottom of the lobby. I didn't feel like time was on my side, so throw it on the Rickety. Working on Varoom, working on getting my levels up. I don't hate where I'm at right now, because Togedemaru is actually a really strong, unique unit, and Varoom is doing a lot of damage from the flank. So this monster team is pretty scary, and they actually do just eat all my guys, so still got some ways to go. He's got the Flame Orb, safety goggles on the Viper. My buddy Gio is still doing really great, even though you can see he doesn't have a unique unit, but neither did the other team, so that's probably, I think, what I was laughing about there. He got the dub, but didn't need the unique. Oh, now we have the Mew Mewtwo round, taking a look at what the other guys are playing. Nice, get a great evolution there. Thinking about if I should play 2 of them, but that's not really advisable. care of these guys pretty easily. Our Revavroom now is flying around the map. Every tile it goes, it gets a speed boost, and then it can just fire off punches way faster, do a lot more damage, so it's a great unit. Put it in your back line so that it can, you know, kind of run up and already get a running start, so to speak, or just get its it boosts up, so for every tile it goes, it gets that boost. I realize I gotta put in Rylu. We're not doing anything with a light. And these guys probably should go. It was a fun experiment. And thinking about Dragon, you know, because I got the Goomy. Rickety's gonna have to go in though, so no real point in getting it. And I decided to just go ahead and level. Hopefully I win the match and get to 50 anyways. So, we're gonna Smoke Ball. Not my favorite, but honestly, you know, whenever I use it, I kind of end up feeling like it was better than I expected it to be. A real strong team here, another monster team, the Mawile just going absolutely nuts. Still haven't been able to string any wins together, but we're starting to do a lot of damage. Steel really benefits from getting all the way to Steel 8. So, hoping to get there. Throw in the Epic unit instead of Rickety, it'll do a little more damage. Might not make a huge difference, but we'll hold on to that for the future. Thinking about placement of my troops right now. I think they're alright. Good to look at the ad picks. There's nothing really for me there. And we're going against a sound team. We have the Chime Echo. But this is where we get a nice little win after a while, after a couple of losses. That was that hatch team I mentioned before, so maybe they weren't doing too hot. At least at that point. So looking at what do I want here, probably just take the box. It's always good. 2 items for the price of 1. A little bit of randomness. If you're feeling like things aren't going your way, maybe you just need 2 random items to brighten up your day. And that can make the difference. So we have the recycle ticket actually, so this is interesting because, you know, you could put it on a Pokemon, you get all the components back, and I'm not loving my Togedemaru at the moment. I'm starting to think maybe there's some other kind of stuff I could get on him, so get it all back, and I'm like, what the heck do I do? Well, I still need the Soul Dew, absolutely, that's not changing. I don't know how much value I'm getting from that Assault Vest, and I just love Max Revive, so I was really happy with this kind of change I was able to do. Made my Togedemaru a lot stronger. Wasn't getting a lot of value from the Assault Vest, but now with a whole extra life, it can really do some damage. So I did lose connection there, so I had to refresh real quick. Oh, yeah, if this ever happens to you folks, just do a little bit of this, a little bit of the reconnecting, and you'll be back. So, didn't win this game. As you can see, that Kadabra kind of stunted on us. Upgrade Soul Dew will make it pretty strong. I should have done this a while ago. Use that sideline to your advantage, if anybody's a football fan. But now we have our big fat bird. I actually really love how that sprite model looks. And yeah, what can we do with Fat Bird? Well, we just have a bit of ice, so we can't really, don't know who we're gonna give that to yet. We're Steel 7 still, we really want to get to Steel 8, but we'll see how this Fat Bird goes. We'll see how our new Togedemaru does. So you can see him up in the top left. He's getting swarmed, but he takes a lot of hits, and he gets 2-3 ability casts off before he goes down, and then, you know, revive, so not much to be done there. So we take out that Drampa team, and now we're feeling pretty good. So we get the evolution on our dojo Pokemon. So now actually he's pretty strong. Still got that Mawile team, 2 monster teams in front. Don't love that. And then there's us. So yeah, some of those other teams look a little more imposing, but while we may not look the part, we are playing some good ball right now at this point in the game. So happy going into the Lugia-Ho round. Thinking I can maybe make something of this match. So yeah, I'm just wondering what this guy was doing. They put their dojo taking on that Aeron. There's no guarantee that they even get the Aggron. So they could evolve that into a Lairon and never get to use it. So I feel like, you know, there's two sides of using that dojo ticket. You put it on your unique or you put it on something useless. Either way, it could be rough. So I'm running around and around and around. I had a steal in front of me, but I didn't take it. Luckily for me, there were lots of options. Didn't end up mattering. Now we get our legendary. Isn't that exciting? So we do have the Cobalion. I'm definitely taking Arceus here. Arceus is really strong. Arceus is really great for getting all your synergies up. And that can really help. So now this is a big bless. We get the metal coat, so we could really get creative here if we want to add in a non-steel unit, make it a steel unit. Looking at if I would want to do that with Coco, for example, but nobody there is really calling my name. I'm thinking about wide lens though. I'm thinking about wide lens, and you know what I'm thinking about putting that on? Yeah. Thinking about wide lens Arceus right now. So you know what? No, we're not gonna do it. But maybe I will later. Now here's my buddy Geo. It looks like he took Cresselia. Put them in the corner. Put a Curly in the corner. Probably telling him at this point he's got to get more items on his Cresselia. But honestly, he's a solid team there. But I stomp. Look at that. Everything's coming up. Steel House. We got the 8 steel. I'm looking at Voltorb in case we want to throw some more artificial. You know, that's the guy I could throw onto the field, put that metal coat on, and give him steel, electric, artificial. That could boost my Togedemaru. But of course, I just sell him, so I actually don't know what I was thinking there. But found a better way to do that than Voltorb actually with the Elekid. So that ended up working out. Thinking about Magnemite too there. Steel electric. I'm just thinking of ways to keep upgrading my team, and one of them is to get that electric synergy active. That will help Togedemaru. And Arceus can also take that synergy. Because of its passive, it's going to get 3 synergies of your top 3 on the team. So this is where I realized I got a real strong team, because we actually just take out the number 2 leader there with their monster team, one of the teams that was tormenting us before. So I grabbed Elekid, Magnemite. I realize I'm probably not going to use Goomy because I'm not going Dragon. I don't really need just one Steel type. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to put on Arceus. So I want some PP. And I also need some attack speed, so could have gone with the scope lens, I think it is, but I could end up going for the attack speed there. That's gonna go good on Arceus, especially after I get the wide lens on him. Yep, that's what it was all going towards. So Rever Room, so he's not blocked. And we throw an Elekid, and we put the metal coat on him. That's great because he's artificial, and we get to Electric 3 because Arceus is now Electric 3, and he's shooting really quickly from the back line. And I think that's going to go really, really well. Plus, we have the invincible Togedemaru up front. So now we're up against the other monster team. And we're really steamrolling at this point. We really got a good thing going here. A lot of true damage you can see from Arceus. You guys say Arceus or Arceus? I think I've always said Arceus, but recently started saying it the other way. Sometimes. So, this guy's still alive, the hatch guy. It looks like my buddy Geo just got taken out. RIP to him. He played a good game. Just moving my guys around. I'd like to get another Railu. Don't know if I'm gonna see the sword guy get back in on edge. On edge, I think. Right now it's about getting to level 9 and getting evolutions, but nobody in the lobby is really much of a threat to me at this point. The sound team is going down pretty easy. And you see my core there of Togedemaru, Reverum, and Arceus. That is a wonderful sight. Look at that. Good core. I think I just wanted to show them off. No need to go overboard. We could stay at 50. I guess I sold Railu. I think I'm looking to get to Artificial 6 here. So yeah, always be thinking about how you're going to keep making your team better. Railu's a good unit, but wasn't there with the synergies. We could get Voltorb in as our 9th unit. That would bring us to Artificial 6. And just be another electric unit, so that's a good option. Trying to look at these other guys, see how they're doing, what they have. Yeah, I was wondering why they weren't going all the way to 8. It was just for this fight, because they go to 8 later on, but yeah, I guess 8 is the trade-off, right, because you start eating your own guys, but usually that doesn't matter. You just get one hyper carry, because Lord. So, thinking about what I should put, probably choice specs, probably just throw that on Arceus. He'll do some even more true damage. Just actually, yeah, insane amounts of true damage with that ability, and with the steel typing that he's taking on. So I have this max elixir. I don't really know who to put it on. Clank for now, it's removable, and it's totally fine. I don't know why it didn't go through sometimes if you're late with it. It doesn't count. I think Geo and I were wondering if it was a one-time use thing there, but no, it's not. So I was just a little late with it. So we get Electrode. That's pretty fun. I start thinking, what if I just throw that max elixir on Electrode? Because is he gonna explode twice? You know what it does is it gives you a instant extra cast of your ability after you cast it. So unfortunately, I shouldn't spoil it, but it doesn't end up working. He does not get the double explosion because he just dies after the first one. But if you watch Electrode here, you'll see he does get the explosion off, but just the one. You see Arceus kills the Guzzlord anyways, a giant Judgment Sword. These guys have a layer on, it's their big one. So, yeah, so, I mean, this is exactly what I was saying before. So they probably have an extra layer on their bench that was initially the one in. And they swapped it out with their dojo one. But they're not going to get aggron, so really it's kind of a waste. So looking at some good synergies here. But ultimately I don't need a synergy, I need that electric terrain. So that's going to be real good for me. And I wonder why didn't either of them take the Berserk Gene. Maybe they didn't want to play around with any more monster. Maybe they didn't realize sometimes it's hard to, if you're, you know, these are low-ish elo. So if you're newer, then you don't really know. It's really tough to elo climb, or maybe I'm just ass, but I've been stuck under 1100, probably like around 1050, and then that's usually where I cap out, and then I drop down again. It's a vicious cycle, but this is the start of a beautiful climb up the elo ladder. So I throw Porygon in there, because that's probably better than the Electrode that can't double explode. Any Ultra unit that you get in is going to be great. Porygon's pretty strong, but, you know, pretty much once I got this Arceus and Steel 8, nobody in the lobby was going to be able to compete with this team. Not those two monster teams. They don't have enough defense. They don't have any quick trigger to kind of take out my back line. And most of all, there's no answer for the token monitor that can just respawn itself and keep going. So we've got ourselves a nice win here with a good Steel 8, Artificial 6, Electric 3 team. I love the backline Arceus with the wide lens. Token monitor is really great item combination there. I liked how that worked out. The Boss Bird, Rookidee, I don't know the second stage evolution for Corvisquire, but that was a pretty solid unit. Our Layeron stayed with us the whole game from his initial spot and that light spot that we didn't end up using. We'll grab the Wonder Box, it doesn't matter, like I said before at this point, but we're gonna roll for fun. So yeah, we're not gonna get any more common units. We do get Poniard, who we definitely want to throw out there, but again, it doesn't matter at this point. So we're gonna do that, quickly get him out. I don't even get the item on. We probably would have been able to even get the stage 3 Corvisquire if we needed to, so this team could have just kept getting better if we had more competition, but we didn't, so we secured the W, and I was pretty happy with this game. I think it was some hopefully not mediocre pivoting into what we wanted to do based on what we got, and we get some nice little elo from that. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys tune in for more elo climbing with the Pokemon Auto Chess.